So today we are going to be talking about Python file handling. File handling is an important part of web application whereby we have so many functions that exist. We can create, read, update, and delete a file. This is all about file handling whereby we could create, we could read, or we could update, or we could delete a file. So file handling has the key function for working with files in Python is the open function. So whether you want to create, you want to read, or you want to update, the key function it goes with the syntax open. So you have to introduce the open function, and this open function takes the parameters, two parameters, the file and the file name and the mode. So the file name could be either any name you give to the file you created or an existing file, and then the mode now can be either of this mode, which is R. We have R, which is read, is a default value, opens a file for reading, arrow if the file does not exist, and we have the A for append, opens a file for appending, and create if the file does not exist. We have the W for writing, open a file for writing, and create if the file does not exist. And we have the X, create the specific file, returns an error if file exists already, or create. And then we have the text. The text is still a default value, just like read, and we have the B, the binary mode. So these are the modes for Python file handling. Let's go to our VS Code and see how it works. So I'm going to create a folder here. I'm going to create a folder. Now call the folder Python. And inside the folder, I'm going to create a file. I'll call it file.txt. So inside this file, I'm now going to create, I'm just going to write something. I may write some lines. I'll say, hello, my name is Blessing. I am dark in complexion. So I have these examples already written in this file. So let me say I want to read this file, right? I want to read this file. So I'll go to my terminal and then come to my terminal here. Then I would say, I'll first of all cd inside that folder because I'm no longer in that folder. I'll cd inside the folder I created. I'll say cd Python. I'm inside the folder. So I would create another file. Let me create another file, right? So I'll call it demo file dot py, right? Because this is where I'm going to run my Python code. So I'm going to now come here and say I want to open it and then read it. So the first thing that happens is opening a file. You could either read it, you could either create it or update or delete. So I would then pass in a variable. We could call it anything equal to open in parentheses and then file.txt. Then I would come here. We said that the open function accepts two parameters, which is the file name, and I've called the file name and the mode. So I want to read it. I'm going to put it in parentheses too, and then I would come here and say print f dot read. So I'm going to save this guy and then come here and run my code. I would say py demo file, right? Okay, I didn't save this guy. I'll save this guy. It's showing me an empty space because I didn't save it initially. So I'm going to come here and still run my code. So are we seeing here? So it has opened this file and it's running this file because we have assigned the we told it to open this file and then read what is in the file. So it opened the file, which is what I have here. And if you check, I hope you can see my terminal very well. So this is how we open and read a file. So we can, aside reading completely all the files, we can still read the files line by line. You can assign, oh, I want to read this particular line or this particular. So I want to run this guy. So I can actually decide to run it based on parts, right? Based on parts, right? So I can say, oh, run this particular line or run this particular part. Run this particular part now. I want it to run only hello, my name is. So if I say one, two, check the length of this guy. I will say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Let me assign 15. Just use my discretion, but you should check. So I can come here and see 15 and I'll save it. Right, come to my terminal and I'll run it. So are you seeing I have hello my name? So you could choose as to read a particular part, and you can choose to read a line, like a particular line. Here now we'll no longer be making use of read, right? We're going to be making use of, I'll duplicate this guy and then comment on it. Then I will come here and then instead of having this read, right, I'm going to now have read line as a method. So I'm going to say read line and I'll take away this guy here. And then I would run this guy. I'm going to save it and then run it. So you see here we have hello. By default it's running the first line, hello, my name is Blessing. So if I duplicate this print, if I duplicate this guy here and still run this code, it's going to now display the other line for me. Are we seeing what we have here? We're having hello, my name is Blessing. We're having the second statement, I am dark in complexion. So this is how to read lines, right? So we can look through lines of files, right? instead of having to, maybe if you choose to adopt the read method, right, you can still loop through lines. Looping through lines means that it's going to still display or do exactly what using the read method only does. So if I come here, I'm going to comment on this guy. If I come here and then say f equal to open past parenthesis file dot txt, then comma parenthesis read, I would come here and say is my for sorry for x in f, as I want to loop it using my what, the for loop. For x in f, right, print x. So this x can actually be anything, right? So I'm saying for x in this variable called f, x that has those datas here, print x, right? So I'm going to save it and come here and print it. So are you seeing here? We have here what I have exactly inside these files. I hope you could see it. I have exactly inside this file. So this is how we can loop. We can do what? We can loop files. So we can also write to an existing file, right? Or to create an existing file. So to um, write an existing file, right, we use the word append. So append will append to the end of the file. Why append is one of the modes of file handling in Python, and W is write. What append does is that append is going to write to the end of the file, but W is going to override the existing data in the file. So it's going to override it and now display the new thing you want inside that file. So let's go and see how it works. So let me say I'm going to comment on this guy. I have f equal to open parenthesis file dot txt, comma, and then I'm going to use a, and then I would say I'm appending now, right? And I will now say f dot write. So I'm going to write something inside. I am a Nigerian, right? So I'm going to save this guy, and then I would come and say py demo file, right? So if you check here now, I'm going to print it. Let me print it. Are you seeing what I have here? I think I did this severally. Let me run it again. So I have here save, so we'll see it better. So this is what I have here, and this is this guy here. So I'm going to I'm going to save this guy, and then I've saved it. So if I save it and come here and run this guy, so I'll go to my file and check it. So are we seeing what we have here? I have it here. I am in Nigeria inside here. So with this example and running it, we have seen what we have here. Like we on our terminal we ran this 2 times. That's why it's displaying for us. I am in Nigerian. I am in Nigerian 2 times. So we can still write what? We can still write to this, right? We said that we can append add to the last part of the file, right? And writing override. So if I now come here and comment on this guy, and then come here and say f equal to open, passing my file name, right? File txt, then a comma, and then r, and then I would come here and say f, sorry, but not w, and then I would come here and say f dot write. So I would say passing something inside here. Welcome to Libyan solution. So this is what I'm having here. So I'm going to save it. I'll come here and run my code. So if I go to that file and check it, are you seeing here? We have this. So it has what? It overruled what? Overruled the existing data inside the file. So this is what writing does for us. So we can create a new file, right? We've shown how to append and write. We can create a new file using that open method and then using X to create. So let us create and see how it works. So I'll create a new file here. I'll come to this demo and then I'm going to comment on this guy. So I'll create a new file and say f equal to open, then my parentheses, and then I would say my file .txt right? Then because we are doing what we are creating, so I would come here and then I would save this guy, and then I would come here and say, so if you see now, I came here, I created this guy and came here and ran Python the demo file. So are you seeing here? It already created this file for me. So this is how, instead of manually creating the file, we can use this syntax, open and then passing X to create a new file. So we can still write something to this file, right? We can still write something to this file. So I would then say f equal to open, I'm going to comment on this guy, right? Because I've already created it. And then I would come here and say my file .txt, then comma, I would say what w, because I want to write to it. I would say w, and then sorry w, and then I would come here and say f dot write, right? I would say what? I would say hello comma, hello world, and then I'll put, trying to create a space, right? And then I would come here, I would duplicate this guy. I would say thank you for choosing Olivia. So this is what I have here. So I'm going to save this guy, and then I will run it. So I'm going to come to this guy and run this guy. So let's go to our file and check what we have inside the file. So you see what we have inside the file. Hello, what? Hello world. Thank you for choosing Arabian. So this is how to create a file and then what? And then write to what? To a file. So then you can also delete files, right? You can delete an existing file using remove, right? So to delete an existing file, you must import OS. You must import OS to your OS is an operating, it stands for operating system, right? You will import it and then be able to use the dependencies that comes with what? OS. So I want to delete this file. Let me say I manually create a file, right? Let me manually create a file here and then call it testing.txt. So I have a file texting.txt. So inside here, I'm going to take I'm going to leave this guy here. I'm going to come here and say import OS, right? I've imported OS. So I'll then say OS dot remove. So I'm using the method remove inside OS. OS dot remove. I'll call the name of the what of the file. So the file I want to remove is what is called text.txt. So then I would remove it. I would come here and save, right? I would come. Sorry, made a mistake. This is test, not text. So I'm going to save it and still come again, and then I have here. So initially, are you seeing it threw what? And an error. It threw an error, file not found error, because I mistakenly wrote X instead of S. So it's telling me that the file wasn't found. So are you seeing here the file no longer exists inside this folder. So this is how we delete text inside in Python file handling.